Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. It is Friday, September 30th. It's Ring of Honor Friday, David Hero. It's also D-Day for TNA. What's wrong?
Every Feedback Friday, it's just bash the stuff that I say.
You bash TNA? Yeah,
No,
pretty much.
I do not. No, I'm honest. I give my honest opinions. They're well thought out. I gather information from around the globe. And I then tell the people my thoughts.
In your own reality.
But it's I don't understand why I get.
It's be like a reality show. The reality of Hero. Pretty interesting.
It would be great. Honestly, if we could pitch a reality show, I think we should.
It would be the star. Well, clearly you'd make yourself the star, put yourself over,
No,
right?
I would try, but I'm sure Cal would come out on top.
He's not old enough.
Doesn't matter.
You'd put a 13 or 14. You put
14.
a 14-year-old in a reality show?
Bro, we've had him in bars with us.
You have had him in bars with you paying your tab at Shenanigans. That's what you did.
But he's been out with us. He knows the deal. Right? You've seen
Feedback
it.
Friday, folks. What we do here on this program is we respond to your questions, inquiries, and comments on our broadcast of the last week. Many of those comments come to us from our users on YouTube who we love and adore. They're great. They love us.
Not all of them. Some of them are just, they don't get it. They're rude.
Well, let's get to our first one, which comes to us from a user by the name of Dennis Crank. Dennis says the following.
Seriously?
He has an idea, David Hero.
Okay.
And I quote, "Here is a crazy idea. WWE already markets WrestleMania as the Super Bowl of wrestling. Could we see WrestleMania become a special on regular or cable TV? Would the ad buy be better than the income generated from the network? Not to mention the push for Raw, SmackDown, and the network. It could easily be on USA or even Esquire, or maybe even try for NBC."
Okay, hold on a second here.
NBC would take WrestleMania. There's no doubt.
Let's do the math. So,
You're literally doing math.
how many buys?
$54.99 times.
No. Pump the brakes. How many subscribers are there?
About 1.6 million subscribers at $9.99 a month.
6 million times $9.99.
It's like MathNet on
It's
Square One.
almost $16 million.
A month from the network.
Yes.
Yes.
So you got to figure WrestleMania is a 16.
Well, do that math. $54.99 times 1 million. They don't do that many buys.
No, they don't.
I think they did do about 500,000 though this past year.
Let's just
That's
say
more money,
it's
but that's monthly.
right. But that's how much the pay-per-view is worth. Is $16 million. So one of those networks give them $16 million?
Absolutely.
You think so?
For Mania? Absolutely. It'd be a draw.
I don't see it.
It wouldn't be a Super Bowl. Super Bowl gets 100 million viewers. The debate this past Monday night got 81 million viewers just on television alone.
I am not a fan of art anymore.
Art?
Yes.
Vandalay?
Painting.
You don't want to participate?
Paintbrush somebody pretty
We're here
soon.
at Casablanca on Brady.
Yes,
it's
we
paint
are.
night.
Yes.
And maybe you need to
Do you ever paint anything?
Maybe you need to relinquish some of your pent up rage and frustration on painting.
When was the last time you painted something?
Me? I did that one oil painting that's down at the museum. It was back about 5 years ago.
What was it of?
It was abstract.
I'm sure an abstract oil painting.
Yes, it is what you want it to be.
Oh, what did you want it to be?
I don't reveal what it should be because I want people to look
What
at
did
what
you
they
want
want it to be. I would reveal what I wanted it to be, which would take the intrigue out of looking at it and see what the people think it is.
Do you have to
it's like those things where you have to look and see the
turn your
ship.
head like this to look at it?
Well, people do. You can turn to the right as well, left too.
Do you let your eyes cross and then it becomes 3D?
Folks, with that, thank you for that comment, Dennis Crank.
No, would you do it?
No, I think it's it is the draw for the network. The draw for the network. And yes, it would enhance their other programming, and yes, it would potentially result in additional subscriptions to the network, but subscriptions to the network would drop dramatically. They gain more subscriptions around WrestleMania than any other time of the year, so they need to preserve that business for their long-term viability versus a one-off on a network. Or even their own, well, it is on their own network. But,
yes.
Thank you, Dennis Crank, for that comment. I think that's our first comment that we've selected from Dennis Crank here on this podcast.
I would not forget that name.
Folks, let's go on to our next comment, which comes to us from a user by the name of Getting Big for Skinny. Getting Big for Skinny. Is that redundant? Or is that like skinny fat?
Well, let's see what the comment is first.
All right. Well, this is in regards to, as we said at the top of this program, that today is D-Day for TNA, and that there are, of course, as we talked about on primetime just yesterday, rumors out there that WWE might be interested in purchasing them. Now, what isn't a rumor is that the company is indeed in financial peril. Their president of the company, Billy Corgan, said so on satellite radio.
I think it's
week.
important that these comments are read verbatim.
Do you want me to do that? Because it's generally what I do.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
This comes to us from Getting Big for Skinny. He says, and I quote, WWE ain't buying TNA. Just an article being misinterpreted.
Nope.
Let's say they
interpreted.
Let's say they did, right? It will be bad for WWE. Imagine WWE fans that never watched TNA finally watched it. Then knowing TNA was always better than WWE. That will make WWE look bad enough as it already is.
No. Because if they're watching it on the network, that means it wasn't good enough to last. So please tell me how that makes WWE look bad. Even ECW lasted, at least ECW had pay-per-views that went off.
They did, but ECW's problem was they got too big too fast.
TNA has great talent, amazing talents, superstar talents. It's being run poorly. And anyone that thinks TNA is better than WWE, just from a production point, is wrong.
Well, bell to bell, ring to ring, and the in-ring action, though, I wouldn't say they're better. I would say they're comparable.
But I'm saying if you're going to watch the two shows, you know that one is inferior just by production.
Yes.
Nobody can compete with WWE on their production.
Yes,
nobody.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, even the Super Bowl takes their ideas now.
Yeah.
Even Donald Trump, he took his entrance. He did the Undertaker entrance. Remember?
Yes.
He did, didn't he?
He did.
What'd you think about that? Did you like the debate Monday night? You watched it, right?
I did watch it in its entirety, and I felt it was effective for one candidate, and I felt it was disastrous for another.
Okay.
Did you go down and see Donald Trump on Wednesday when he was here in Milwaukee?
I wanted to.
At the Waukesha County Expo Center, site of your former Blizzard Brawl events?
The GLCW Dome is what it really should be called.
The G-Spot?
Some people have called it that. I'm familiar with that building. But no, I didn't go see him.
Why not? Couldn't get in? Couldn't get a ticket?
No. You know what? I just had,
I hear he turns thousands away, so I guess it'd be understandable.
No, I mean, it's Cal's homecoming week. We've had things to plan and do, and he had to go suit shopping and all that stuff.
Are you chaperoning?
Of course I am. I am the most popular chaperone of all time. His classmates love me.
How are you going to keep yourself occupied during that event? What I mean by that is that there will likely be teachers there, and that you probably shouldn't engage in activities with them.
Oh, no. They're way too old for me.
Let's go to our next comment, ladies and gentlemen. And this comment comes from a user by the name of Scott Forsyth, who says...
Was that an actor? Oh, that's Jonathan Forsyth.
It was. And I quote, "Why all the smack talk about the Cruiserweights?" He's referring to us smack talking about the Cruiserweights. I thought the CWC tournament was excellent, with Mauro Ranallo calling the matches superbly, and the performers told some great in-ring stories with a genuine mix of totally different wrestling styles. To say I'm not, and that was what you said last weekend, David Hero, to say I'm not going to sit through an hour of Cruiserweights followed by I didn't and I won't is quite frankly ignorant. And I implore you to go and watch some of those
first
matches.
of all,
Uh-oh.
how is it ignorant if it's my decision what I want to watch? It's my time, my personal time.
You're a wrestling opinionist.
I am, and I opinionize to not watch it. I mean, I don't got to watch all wrestling shows.
Look, I did not, and I don't believe you did watch, every week of the Cruiserweight tournament because I just didn't, quite frankly, care, to be honest with you. It didn't appeal to me. It wasn't something I needed to watch. It wasn't another hour of wrestling I needed to commit to every week. I would see them when they got to Raw. I've seen them when they got to Raw. Still does not much of anything for me. I am old school in the way
Do you know
that
why?
the Cruiserweights of old were better than the Cruiserweights of today so far.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the Cruiserweights today do the same moves as the heavyweights of today. They all do the same flips. Nothing special and unique. And yes, Mauro Ranallo, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
He is a great guy to
Almost
have
as
on
good
the
as me.
shows. I think he's better.
Slightly.
But I mean, come on. I don't know how people have time to watch all this wrestling. I really don't. I mean, they have to have a job, right? Because they got to pay for the network that they're watching it on. They got to pay for the internet feed.
Priorities.
Yeah, my priority is not to watch the Cruiserweights
But
right now.
maybe I'll give you an opportunity to clean it up a little bit, because the comments you made last week were, I'm not going to...
How many times have you done that? And how many times have I cleaned anything up?
But I'd like to try to give you the opportunity to try.
So I should lie?
You said, and I quote,
You criticize guys for lying on Monday night.
You said, and I quote, I'm not going to sit through an hour of Cruiserweights.
Yep, I didn't do that.
You then followed up by saying, I didn't and I won't. This person, Scott, finds it frankly
And he says
ignorant.
Why is it ignorant? Because do you go to the restaurant, order something you don't want to eat?
So do you have, are you not a fan of the Cruiserweights?
No, it's not that. They do the same moves as Seth Rollins. They do the same moves as
there
Neville.
You go. Seth Rollins should be a Cruiserweight, right?
Finn Balor should. If they're going according to weight class, absolutely. All those guys, I mean, even Kevin Owens is doing frog splashes.
That's not a Cruiserweight move.
Eddie Guerrero.
A flippy frog
all
splash.
all of the luchadors started it.
True.
Okay?
Yeah, so Eddie Guerrero was a luchador?
Of course, he was a Cruiserweight. Where did he get his start?
He did.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, when the Cruiserweights start doing stuff that I can't see Seth Rollins or Finn Balor or Neville or even Enzo Amore do, come on.
Thank you very much for that
Another
comment.
belt.
Thank you so much for
the
tuning into the
Cruiserweight
program as well.
is a way to trick the masses into watching the network and to buy purple belts. Because not everybody is big enough to be a heavyweight champion. Some of them are going to be Cruiserweights.
We're going to take a time out, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, more of your comments and his reactions to them.
I'm quite brilliant. I figured this
Friday.
stuff out.
We'll be back in just a moment.
The biggest party event of WrestleMania weekend is back. WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash presents Shenanigans Orlando. Join Nash and his friends for a huge VIP party Friday, March 31st. Party with the biggest stars of wrestling at the world-famous Mango's on International Drive to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Don't miss Shenanigans Orlando, hosted by Kevin Nash. Tickets are available now and going fast at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. I didn't say you were wrong. I simply said that this particular viewer had questions on the quotes, the facts, the things that you said, recorded on tape and in tweets.
Okay.
And looking to get your response to those
Have I
things.
told people not to watch it? It's just not for me.
Based on these comments, no, you didn't. You said you were not going to sit through an hour.
I mean,
of
do you watch
Cruiserweights.
midget porn? It's not for
sorry?
everybody. Just saying.
Do you watch?
No, I don't. I've seen it by accident.
How do you see it by accident?
I walked in the hotel room. I didn't know they were there. It's a big bottle of vodka.
And I was like, get to the next comment, ladies and gentlemen, here on Feedback Friday. And this one comes from user named BatmanBeyond23 on YouTube. He says, it's a question. What do you guys think of Cesaro's booking? Every time he gets hot, it seems he just gets shot down. He's a great talent that should be contending for the Universal Championship, or at least the United States Championship. Maybe bring back the European Championship? Cesaro, question about our thoughts on his booking.
That's way too many belts. They don't go to Europe enough to have that title. And you don't give a guy from Switzerland a European title. That's kind of...
Oh, he's neutral.
Well, no, but that's almost like affirmative action by giving the European guy the European Championship. It's not fair. It's not right. He didn't earn it.
As long as everyone has the equal opportunity to win it.
But how many European guys do they have? What?
X-Pac was a European
It'll
champion.
be 4 people in the
Shane
tournament.
McMahon was a European champion.
It'll be 4 guys in the tournament. Sheamus, Neville, Finn Balor, who can't wrestle anyhow, and Cesaro.
Can you clean that up, please?
He can't.
You just
He's
said Finn
hurt.
Balor can wrestle.
He's hurt.
But the quote that I will extract and use later against you is, he can't wrestle anyhow.
He can't wrestle anyhow right now. He's hurt.
He didn't say right now.
I'm talking in the moment, in the present. I'm not talking
I
about
think
the future.
we talked actually quite a bit about Cesaro on Primetime just last night, so be sure to step back and check that out.
Okay, but seriously,
23.
Cesaro's a great talent.
Yes.
He is amazing.
Yes.
Do you really see him as Universal Champion?
Do you see Kevin Owens as Universal Champion?
I never did, but he has far more charisma than Cesaro.
Yes. He is better.
You put, and I've said this many a times, you put Kevin Owens on Kelly and whoever she's on the show with in the morning, he can carry a conversation. Cesaro, it's like going to the dentist. Sometimes you like it, but it's kind of rough.
Thank you very much for that comment. Our final comment of the night comes to us from a
You
YouTube user
need
by the name
charismatic
of
characters.
Variety.
When was the last time you had a boring world champion?
I can't recall.
I mean, you can put the Miz in there, but at least.
Yep.
I mean,
He sat on all those talk shows you just said.
no,
the reason.
and I'm kidding about.
No,
the
you're
Miz.
not.
I am kidding about the Miz because he did a great job as champion. He was a great placeholder. But if you
just can't. You just can't. He did a great job as champion. He was a great placeholder.
he was fantastic. You need larger than life
2 minutes to
characters.
finish.
You have larger than life characters. You do. You need someone that can engage an audience. Cesaro, as talented as he is, he doesn't do that.
Next comment comes to us from a YouTube user by the name of the Variety Vendor, who says, and I quote, and we talked about this last week about Sting wasting 12 years in TNA, and that's the reason his career, or he became less relevant when he came back to WWE. And I quote, the worst thing for Sting is not signing with WWE 15 years ago? That's a question. Well, if he went to WWE, his worst fears would have been realized. He would have been Austin's lackey for the Invasion storyline and would have lost to Triple H 20 times over. Sting going to the WWE, when you had Undertaker, The Rock, Austin, HBK, Angle, Hogan, Flair, it would have killed his credibility. Him going to TNA to elevate that brand and carry it on his shoulders for 10 years since Sting left Impact. The ratings have spiraled. Since Sting left Impact, the ratings, there are random periods in here, Variety Vendor. Since Sting left Impact, the ratings have spiraled out of control, which proves Sting was the biggest piece of that brand.
Okay.
He brought more revenue than anyone else to that
How much time do I get for this one?
I'm just going to, please go.
Okay.
There's so much to respond here to.
Let's start off by the first thing. He wouldn't have been Austin's lackey. Was Ric Flair anybody's lackey?
Nope.
Ric Flair came in and had
Vince's
a prominent
first time.
role. He had a prominent role.
He did.
Sting would have been a main event guy. Yeah, he may not have beat Steve Austin or The Rock, but why should he? Those were the guys that beat WCW. Now let's see here. Then we go to
After he left Impact, the
you have
ratings
lost to
spiraled out of
Triple
control.
H 20 times over. Well, that would have been 20 main events.
Yes.
That's a pretty good payday.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, Taker, Flair. Him going to TNA to elevate the brand and carry it on its shoulders for 10 years. How many sold out crowds did they have with Sting on top?
There was one or two. There were one or two.
Of more than 5,000?
They hit a Bound for Glory once where they drew about 7,000.
Okay.
Drew about 7,000 total.
That doesn't include the paper, the free tickets that were given
It
away.
did not.
Because they averaged about 2,500 tickets given away on those bigger ones. And let's take the European thing out of the equation because those don't count. Those are bought shows.
Promoted by someone else.
And the ratings spiral out of control. Well, when you go from Spike to Destination Nowhere to pop-up TV that doesn't pay you to be on there? Are you kidding me? That's why TNA sucks. They don't have a network. Not because Sting left. I love Sting. He's an icon. He didn't move the needle for TNA. What is so funny? I mean, yeah, Sting's a Hall
It's
of Famer.
Destination America. Pop TV. to say though,
How many
that
people could get Destination America?
he brought more revenue than anyone else to that company, TNA. That
No.
possibly could be
Jeff Hardy. And I know that for a fact. You know why? Jeff Hardy worked house shows. Jeff Hardy was the guy at intermission in the ring taking photo ops. Sting only showed up for TVs and pay-per-views. Very seldom do you do a house show. And Sting can call those shots.
Let's be real here for a minute. Obviously, we've heard some things. We know some people, and Sting in his time in TNA was not viewed very favorably by a lot of the other talents there, right?
No.
Because he was lazy and didn't really want to perform when he was there.
Sting was getting $500,000
To show up.
Mm-hmm. And good for him. Hey, you earned it.
Yeah.
You know.
So why wouldn't you be? He's got nothing to gain.
But for anyone that says that he's variety vendor, bless your heart, dude. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, that's just, he's delusional. And I mean that.
No,
and I
think you're the one who's delusional, right? Wait a minute, let me go back to that.
And no, I'm frankly ignorant. And I mean that in the sweetest way. You're completely wrong.
I can't disagree with you in this instance.
You know what? I get frustrated with this show.
Couldn't tell.
Well, I mean, come on. It's common sense. Seriously.
Here's the thing that's great about this show.
Goldberg had a great run.
Here's the thing that's great about this show, though, folks. They are entitled to their opinion, as are you. They are opinionists just as well as you are.
They don't have a degree in opinionology.
Well, perhaps some do, and they don't obviously have the opportunity to sit here in this forum and share their thoughts and
Thank God.
take the ridicule that they take and be frankly ignorant at times as a result of the things that are said. So thank you, Variety Vendor, for those comments.
For what?
Nothing in it is accurate at all as far as reality goes. There is no doubt that if Sting had signed with WWE instead of TNA when he went there in 2006, I believe it was, that he would have had a better career
Sting
overall.
probably would have had a 2 or 3 world title run.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And he had world title runs in TNA.
He did.
We want to say thank you for those comments, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's what drives me crazy. You thank him for some of these.
We want to make sure that you join us tomorrow night for Be the Booker for TNA's Bound for Glory pay-per-view, coming to us Sunday from Orlando, Florida. And then we've got a brand new Battle of the Brands on Sunday. Also want to remind you, if you want to be subject to the same I guess you can call it responses that David Hero has shared with our viewers today. Be sure to subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Report here on YouTube.
It's called rebuttal.
And share
I feel
your
like
comments
Trump
as well.
I feel like they're Lester Holt.
Bring us what you think about
questioning everything that I'm saying.
Your ideas, your thoughts, and your comments on our broadcast or the wrestling world in general for selection here on Feedback Friday. Until then, for that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Be the Booker for Bound for Glory.